Afternoon, everyone. We really appreciate all of you for your valuable time in joining this session today. I'm sorry to keep you all waiting. We were just waiting for more number of participants to join in. And we believe that you all are staying safe, hale and hearty. My name is Hema Ashok. I am from Reddington Marketing Team as I take care of Cisco Channel Marketing from Reddington, as you all know me. I once again welcome you all for this exclusive webinar on Cisco Meraki. So in this webinar, we are going to discuss about Cisco Meraki solutions and product updates. To take us through the session, we have Rupesh and Amer from our pre-sales team. So before I hand over the session to the pre-sales team, as you all know very well about basic webinar housekeeping methods. If you have any questions, please keep posting in the Q&A section. We want to make this more interactive and we want to make this session based on your questions and more lively. So as and when the webinar starts, please keep posting all your questions in the Q&A section. After the presentation, as you know that Rupesh and Amer will be more than happy to address all your questions one by one individually. And in case if you have any technical difficulties and you have missed out any part of the session today, not a problem. Please be on a lookout for the post-webinar mailer with a recorded version of this live broadcast, which you will be receiving in the next 24 to 48 hours, wherein you can revisit the content that you have missed and you can also share it with your colleagues. So now let's get into the subject. Let me hand over the session to Amer to share his presentation. Hi, Amer.
Yeah. Hi, Emma. Thanks.
Thank you. You can share the screen, Amer.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
So, Emma, can you confirm whether this is visible?
Yes, it is. It is.
Thanks.
You
Thanks,
can
Emma.
put in the, yeah.
So, good
Okay.
afternoon, partners. So, let me introduce myself. So, I'm Mohammad Amir Khan, and most of you know about me. And I'm a product technical specialist with Cisco. So, today our topic is Meraki, which is nothing but a cloud-based solution delivered by Cisco. So, let us see what is a cloud-based solution and what is the specialty of those solutions and what is Meraki portfolio, followed by a decloud session on the Meraki. So any questions that you have, you can note out, you can put it in the Q&A panel so that I will take up those questions. And if required, then you can get it offline also. We'll do that. Okay. So Meraki, it was acquired by Cisco and it is a completely 100% cloud managed solution. It's not like a hybrid model. It's like some of the components that you can manage locally or something like that. It is completely 100% cloud managed solution. So you can see here, if you talk about the disruptive innovations in different fields here, like if you talk about media, then Netflix has done a lot of disruption in that particular field. And if I talk about finance right now, we do hear about the Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin value and what was that? Okay, so these are done a lot of disruption in that finance segment. And if you talk about hospitality, the Airbnb, and if you talk about the transportation, Grab. So in different fields, every like organization has done what you call a remarkable disruption in that particular field. So if we talk about the IT field, then Cisco Meraki has done a lot of disruption in that, the way the network was managed, the network was configured, and the visibility in terms of what actually is what is happening in the network, everything that is done by Meraki. So my question is that right now, why Meraki Cloud Managed IT? So if a customer is asking this question, like why we should go for a Meraki, a cloud-based solution, okay. First of all, if we talk about cloud-based solution, then I think the manageability, I mean, the three factors which are important to evaluate any cloud-based solution, that what is the manageability, how you are going to manage those solutions. And second is scalability, how scalable the solutions. Today, the customer might have limited branches or limited device, but going forward, if they're going on a business expansion, where they can have multiple offices spread across any country or its globe, how you are going to scale. And the third important thing is the cost savings. As per a Gartner survey, for every $1 of the hardware spent, there is almost like $3 of the amount that is spent on the maintenance and troubleshooting of those devices. You can see 1:3 ratio. If you are spending $100, you are spending $300 for its maintenance kind of thing. Because you need to maintain the SLAs, and also you need to maintain the IT team. That's, imagine if it is a 24/7 organization, then you need to have a 3 shifts working the people down the clock to maintain those network. Okay. So the cloud, it will increase the IT efficiency in terms of these 3 parameters. The IT team will have a better hand in terms of the manageability, and the organization can scale from what you call 1 device today to 100 or 1,000 devices. There is no limitation in terms of the number of devices that you can add to the network, and you can reduce the cost of the the IT team cost. You can deploy the solution, and you can manage those solutions with the support of very few IT team. Let's say if you have IT team of 10 to 12 people to manage a particular network, then with the help of Meraki, you can reduce those to only 2 or 3 people they can manage. So this is a dashboard. So in the real time also, like we will later on this slide, we'll go to the live dashboard demo so that I can show you how a dashboard looks like. Most of the partners already are aware of the Meraki dashboard. So we can see what are the things that we can configure in the Meraki dashboard. You can see in this, if you want to see the client fingerprints, then you can see this, what is the device type of a particular client, and how, let's say, suppose if I'm accessing any corporate network, then how I'm accessing this network, whether I'm connected to Wi-Fi or else whether I'm connected to wired. You will get all those details also. And this completely you can see on the left side. If you talk about switches or wireless or system manager or any what you call Meraki MX device, everything can be configured within a single pane of glass. Okay, and you can see all those things, the client visibility where the client is exactly right now, and you can search for a client also. You can search for a network in the dashboard. You will get all the L7 level visibility, like which applications are being accessed by any particular user, and for how much is the data consumed by that particular client for a particular application. And you can have these troubleshooting tools ping so that to test any network connectivity, so that this will help you to locate where the issue is lying and to do the troubleshooting in a very fast manner, which is not happening in a traditional solution. So Meraki, you can see in this slide, 5 years ago, Meraki was almost like 15,000 customers, and today, and this slide is little bit old, so that numbers has gone up due to the pandemic also. Because in the pandemic, you can see a lot of, this is the right time to speak about this solution, because right now you can see you as a system integrator, you have multiple customers spread across different, depending on the custom partners. I mean, the customer base that you have, that can be state level, or that can be national, or in sometimes that can be international level also. But how you are going to manage, because keeping in mind the travel decisions that have been put by the different governments, okay, how you are going to travel to those locations, right? That is not possible. And at the same time, the customer wants their business to be up and running every time. So how you are maintaining the business continuity, all those things, right? So here, to have a network up and running, first we have to have a very good solution. Second, if in case, because if we talk about any networks, as per a survey, 70% of the errors are done by human. Okay, so some misconfiguration or something happened, any cable that you have pulled out by unknowingly, okay, so the network will be down, or the connectivity issue will be there, right? So how you are going to remotely manage those things, right? If there is no person there, or else very few people are there in the network to tell us the live condition of the network, how you are going to manage those things, right? Here, Meraki dashboards comes into picture, which will give all the visibilities and tools, and also the ways or else the approaches required to maintain those networks, and with the help of very lean IT. So this was about the Meraki and what is the cloud-based solution. So right now, coming to the Meraki platform. So Meraki has got a wide variety of product lines in its portfolio. So we do have MR, which is nothing but the access point family from Meraki. Next is MS, which is nothing but Meraki switches. MX is nothing but the Meraki firewall. and also SD-WAN appliances also. So MG denotes the cellular gateways. So apart from that, we have Meraki Insight, which is nothing but the, if you want to check, suppose on the LAN side, fine, you can do the troubleshooting, all those things, and you can understand. But imagine there is some performance issue, your apps are not working properly, or just a user is having a poor experience. Then how can you know that, right? So Meraki Insight will give the visibility in the article issues which are lying in the application or from the WAN side. SM is nothing but systems manager, which is nothing but your endpoint management. So apart from this, we do have MV, which is nothing but smart cameras from Meraki, and MT, it's the latest addition to the Meraki family. It's nothing but sensors. So depending on the different sensor, like it can be a water sensor or door open sensor or else a temperature sensor. We do have a lot of things there. Let us see all those things in the coming slides. So the first is like we'll go down in the demo also about this MR. So depending on the customer use type, let's say if the customer want the latest Wi-Fi's in what you call standards like Wi-Fi 6, we do have Wi-Fi 6 access points also. Depending on the customer requirement, whether the customer require indoor access point or else outdoor access point, we do have that what you call access points also. Depending on the criticality of the network, whether it's a mission critical environment or else there's an enterprise network or else it's SMB network, we do have different access point catering all those needs, right? So starting from 2x2, we do have access point which will support 8x8 also. So next is MX. MX is nothing but the security appliance from Meraki. So depending on the customer type, whether the customer is having very like 50 users or is 100, 200, and also what is the bandwidth that the customer is requiring. So one of the important thing that I want to highlight here that, so here, once you take an appliance, so the next feature update will be from the software part, not from the hardware part, because this is only one appliance apart from the physical interfaces. Everything, every new addition, if you want to add, suppose if a new feature update has been done by Meraki team, then automatically that will be updated to you. So you don't need to purchase. If you have a subscription in place, then you don't need to purchase an additional, or else you don't need to put any additional amount to buy those features. Whatever the new feature, let's say today there are some 12 features that is supported by MX, and tomorrow down the line, because MX traditionally is a security appliance, so you know the security, the threat landscape is completely evolving day by day, and depending on those things, so new and new technologies are there to counter those threats. So any new technology that, I mean, new feature that has been updated by the Meraki team, so automatically that will be updated in the dashboard. So you don't need to purchase any additional article licenses or something like that. That will be automatically done in that. So MS denotes the Meraki switching family, starting from 8 port or something like that, PoE or else non-PoE. If you want a 1G uplink, or else if you want a completely data architecture in Meraki, starting from core, then we do have support core switch, which will have the 40G complete ports, having a 100G uplink also. So here also there are like different kind of switches. If you are talking about the basic switches, we do have MS 120 and 125. Okay. I'll show you this in the coming slides. So MV is nothing but the Meraki product family. Sorry, in Meraki smart cameras. So the main goal of the MV is that to apply the Meraki's expertise in the cloud, and also to get the distributed computer systems and UX design to video surveillance. Because we are already there in the dashboard and we are there already in the monitoring part, okay, and the visibility part. So here the MV will eliminate the traditional NVRs or DVRs, which is required in a CCTV surveillance. Without this, there will be no. So here by default, all the MV cameras, okay, every MV camera has an memory associated with that. That will be associated in the same with the device only, right? So if you are talking about any MV22 or MV32, then you can have the different options like 128 GB or 256 GB or 512 GB of memory attached to those cameras. And apart, if you think that, okay, fine, 512 GB of memory is not enough for me, I need some more, then what you can do, there is a separate archival licenses. That archival license depends on the number of days, 90, 180, 360 days. Okay, so you can have those recordings archived in the Meraki cloud. You can download those things from there. So today, any organization, I mean, if you talk about this was about the IT part, okay, the things that I have discussed earlier. But just imagine if there are some offices. I mean, just imagine a SEZ or else a large building which is hosting multiple offices, right? So that particular building needs some data to maintain those things, right? So that in that case, the BMS, the building management system, comes into picture. So here, to keep up the, they need to have a data of the visibility on different parameters, like what is the light levels of a particular office, whether that are okay or is dim or something like that, so that they can turn off or turn on some more lights, so that. And what is the temperature data? Because if you talk about data center, because data center will generate more heat, because most of the devices, I mean the high-end servers or different switches, all those things will be maintained in the data centers. And even though the air condition will be maintained in this, but if, in some cases the air condition might not be enough for those systems to be cooled down, right? So you need to have the temperature data, whether if you are set a limit, like let's say in my data center my maximum temperature should not cross more than 18. So what happens when your temperature is going beyond 18 degrees, or else right now your data center has a temperature of 22 degrees. So what is that thing I need to do? So you should get an alert. Instead, like someone telling you, okay, fine, this is the temperature is not at the benchmark that you have set in, right? There should be instant some alert, so that the administrator who is responsible for the data center, he will get an input. Okay, my temperature of the data center has increased from 18 to 20 degrees. I need to, what you call, increase some more air cooling in that. Okay, and suppose if there is a leakage in the building and there are some important files or systems located in the building, so what happens if the water leakage is done there? So you should have an, what you call, awareness. I mean, you should have visibility on those things, right? And apart from that, and if a person is going to enter into the a camp office, but he's not the person who is supposed to enter those premises, then how you are going to enter? Even though CCTV, all those things are there, manual people will be there who is stopping. But if in case these people are there, but even though someone is entering those premises, then how you are stopping those things? Okay, so this information is it. So to address those solutions of all those things, water leakage or temperature rise, so we do have different kind of sensors here. So MT10 indicates the temperature and humidity sensor. It will sense all those temperature, and you need to set the benchmark for different, depending on customer need, whether the customer need a temperature of 20 degrees or 35 degrees or something like that. You can set a benchmark and you can get an alert whether if a temperature is going down or going up. You can set an alert there. Okay, and if MT12 denotes the water leak sensor. Okay, so if any water leak is there, then it automatically alerts those by pushing the alerts from there. MT20 is nothing but a door open or close. It's nothing but an intrusion kind of sensor here. So all these sensors have a battery life of 3 to 5 years, and this will be working on the BLE signals. Okay, and it will have the 5 days onboard data storage. So if you have, just imagine what the organization will have, suppose all this data in hand, right? What they can do, they can optimize service call and avoid, because you just imagine if you are part of one AMC of any customer to maintain all those things, including his premise also. So imagine that if there is a AC change or not, or something happened, so necessarily you need to send a person to there, visit this office and check what is the levels of different parameters, whether that can be temperature, whether that can be humidity, whether that can be a what you call water leakage or something like that. So unnecessary, you can avoid those visits. Okay, and you can extend the equipment lifetime and reduce costs by taking the timely actions given by the inputs of the sensors. Okay, and you can avoid the network downtime and improve customer satisfaction. So all the devices of Meraki, as I was discussed earlier, which will work with license. It's nothing but one single hardware along with one license. And license can be different, what you call year wise, like 1, 3, 5, 7, or 10 years. So one thing is that any device that you want to work in Meraki, that will have a license associated with that. So now, what is a Meraki value proposition that you can tell to your customers? So Meraki finds value in the customer environments where there is a limited IT, like people they don't have a what you call very good IT staff, or else very less IT staff, or else whether they are not so on a high tech what you call knowledge on the network, they can help those customers because all the dashboard is a GUI based dashboard and everything will be clear unless and until those IT team knows about the fundamentals of network, all those things, then they can easily do the configuration. Okay. So low TCO, low total cost of ownership will be there if you're proposing a Meraki solution. No requirement for the technical resources branch. So people just now, because I can take an example of Pure.fit, they have deployed this solution across India with limited people. I mean, you can actually do the templates before the device is actually being shipped to the location. You can do the configuration, and you can ask these people to just upload those devices, right? So it's a true plug and play, and you can have distributed locations like uh, if a customer has a location in what is headquarters in US, he can deploy the solution worldwide using a single dashboard. All he can do is ask the other people in the different locations to just turn on the device, and that's it. You can do all the device claiming and the device configuration. The monitoring part can be done sitting across one location across the globe. Okay. So in a traditional environment, the network team will find it very difficult to actually pinpoint where the problem is actually lying, whether that is from the device side or else that is from the WAN side or just the issue is from the what you call endpoint side, all those things, right? And Meraki do support the APIs. If any customer want to integrate in third-party apps with this Meraki for any kind of features that they want to have in their network, then Meraki supports open APIs. From there, you can do the integration also. So as per the survey, you can see 90% of the typical customer, they save in around 90% on the operation cost with Meraki compared to the traditional architectures. You can see all the in the future, like everything will be people will be automatically they are going to integrate the Meraki dashboard with different APIs depending on the business use case that those customers have. So this is one example of Meraki deployments. You can see Audi has took the Meraki solution to provide superior Wi-Fi to over 2,000 dealership with an IT team of just 6. You can see they are maintaining 2,000 dealerships. Okay, the team size of IT is only 6. And the Dollar General, one of the customer of Meraki, they have deployed the Meraki wireless across 15,000 plus stores, location across 44 states in the US. IHG, which is famous for the hospitality, they have deployed around 5,000 plus solutions in 100 countries, reducing cost by millions of dollars. And Butler University, they have deployed around 1,300 access point across campus, supporting 5,000 students and 1 lakh devices. And if anything that you want to read much more on these case studies, then you can just go to meraki.com/customers, where you can find, depending on the sector or segment in which you want, if you want any hospitality segment, or else if it is education, or else industries, you can have multiple use cases there. So if this is one of the example I took from the website. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Institute in India, they have used the Meraki's solution, and this is the first institute in India which is completely paperless. Okay, here there is no prescription kind of thing. I mean, everything will be maintained digitally. So if a patient is visiting for the next time, all you need to do is tell his MR code, so that every information about this last visit, what is the condition, what is the test that have been done, everything will be maintained digitally. So completely, Sardar Patel is the India's first paperless and entirely computerized government hospital. almost like they have deployed around 500 Meraki access point across the campus to have a very unified digital experience, completely seamless. So now we'll go for a demo. Just give me 1 minute. So I think most of the partners who have the partner level access, they can log into gcloud.cisco.com, which is nothing but a virtual demo dashboard from Cisco. You can have different virtual instant demos, and also there can be scheduled demos also. Here you just type, I will be putting this link in the chat window also. So here you just all you need to do is, if you want to have a Meraki demo, then just type Meraki in the search catalog. So you can see you can get a link of Meraki Launchpad V1 for partners. Just click on the link. So this is a simulated environment. It will be like a real-time dashboard only, but you cannot do much more changes in this dashboard. So I request that everyone to try this dashboard. That will be very helpful so that you can have a first experience of what actually the dashboard looks like, all those things. Okay. So here you can see the first thing is that what is the network, whether which network you are going to access. So here the typical networks will be San Francisco or Chicago or different Sydney, Toronto, different kind of environment. This is a sample environment created by Meraki team. So let's say we are going to have a San Francisco. The first thing that you want to see is what is the network wide clients here, or else if you want to see about the organization device data, let's say just go and click on inventory. Go into an organization, from there you can just click on inventory. So this will give, okay, fine. In San Francisco location, I have a network of Meraki. So the network the network at present, it contains 21 security appliance, 1 cellular gateway, 29 switches, 51 wireless, 32 cameras. So don't you see this information as useful? Because traditionally what the IT team they used to do is that they used to maintain those in the Excel sheets or some other sheets, right? And that information will not be a real time unless and until that is updated some few minutes back, right? So here at any point of time, whatever the dashboard, I mean, that you are searching into, it will give you the latest count on a real time basis. If there is no, I mean, if you are remove 2 security appliances from a network, then it will show you 19 security appliances here. The first thing is it will give you the number of devices that is there in the network. Second thing that you want to check, because this is also a very hectic work for the IT team, if they want to see what is the usage licenses and what is the expiry period of those licenses and when they need to renew this, so that they can request for a quotation from the partner. Okay, I need these licenses to be renewed. So second thing is that the customer can get is here what is the licenses that they are using right now. You can see different licenses are there here. Enterprise license, which is what you call active. Okay, you can see this is unused. All those information that you can see, and for which location this particular license you have associated with, all those things, and what is the claim date. Okay, what is the expiry date, all those things information that can be get. This is a central dashboard for this particular network, right? So this is the first thing that, I mean, if you want to check for expiry date also, you can see if you click here, it will show you what is the time remaining. You can see 171 days. This is like 2 years and 129 days. So a lot of time is there. And if you are seeing that, okay, fine, this is going to expire within 10 days or 15 days or 20 days, something like that, so that you can update your partner. I mean, you can get an update from the customer so that you can get this renewed in time, right? So this is about the what you call this licenses and inventory. Suppose if you want to check right now in my network, I'm talking about San Francisco network. If you want to check how many clients are there, how many people are there in the network, when you click one here, it will show you number of clients that are associated with the network, right? So you can see when I click on the clients here, there are 62 clients there are right now in my network. And if you scroll down, okay, you can check how the network, how a particular user is connected to the network, whether they're using Wi-Fi as a mode to connect to the network or else they're connected to wirelessly. All those information will be displayed here. You can see in the left, this is the RJ45 symbol. It will denote here, okay, fine, this particular person called Marconi, he has connected to wired. And you can see Alan, he is connected to wireless. So the first level of thing that from a network point of view, the network IT admin point of view, you can understand, okay, fine, who are connected wirelessly and who are connected to wired. Okay, what is the MAC address and which is the OS type, whether they are using Mac or less Windows 10 or else they're using Windows Server or something like that. And suppose if they're connected to switch, what is the switch port they are connected, all those things here, right? And if you want to say, suppose, let's say any one here. Okay, here, yeah. If you want to click, if you want to check the information of what James White is actually doing, just click on this client. So you can first level of information that you can get it, how James is connected to network, whether James is connected wirelessly or wired. You can see status is connected and is connected to wired. So which port, for which switch he has been connected. You can see this is a switch model, MS425 16 port switch. And what is the port he's connected? He's connected to first port, right? And if you want to check the topology, how is that James is connected, you can click on this and you can get all those things. And I just want to see what are the applications that James has been because I think this is a demo thing, and so data has not been generated for this client, so we'll go for other client here. So you can see Alan is connected to wirelessly. He is connected to this SSID and this access point. Okay, and right now his location is in this building and this location. So what is the health status of device that Alan is using, and what is the most common failure step, whether there is having a authentication issue or else he has got a problematic SSID or else he's not in the vertical Wi-Fi zone. All those things will be mentioned here. If you want to check what actually Alan has been generated, I think here also they're not showing complete details here. But when I click here, it will show you application that Alan has been accessing. For which application, how much time he spent, and what is the bandwidth that Alan has consumed. All those things will be displayed here. Okay. So this is about the clients. And if you want to see the topology or traffic analytics, let's say if a new person is coming to your IT team, for him to learn the network, it will take some time. But in the dashboard, if you show him within one day, he can learn, right? So here, this is a topology for a San Francisco network. You can see here, if you hover your what you call this cursor here, you can see this is a switch, MS225 24 port PA switch. For this 24 port PA switch, you can see these are the cameras that have been added to those switch, right? And if I talk about this is a stack of MS350 24 port, right? So here also there is one switch. So you can understand, okay, fine. If I'm talking about a access point called MR33, okay, so you can check for which switch this is connected. And from this, what is the uplink that is going to which switch? So you can understand where actually the problem is lying. And if you are doing any misconfiguration or else some port you are going to misconfigure, everything you can understand from this one. And you can download this as a file also. Suppose at this point of time, what was my network topology? You can download this topologies also. Okay, so this is about the L2 and this is about the L3. So what you call layer 3 network topology, right? It will give you about the core switches and all those. I mean the core switches and also MX appliance here. You can see all the static routes that have been written here. One of the things that I like more on the Meraki dashboard, that the alert systems. Because a lot of things are there, but due to the time constraint, I am not able to take all those things. But definitely, if any specific request is there, then definitely we'll take up and we'll have this conversation one-to-one. Okay. So the alert mechanism is one of the best thing I like in a dashboard. Imagine people, they in the traditional classic architecture, people they come to you or they put a mail or they put a chat in the WhatsApp group or something, they call you. Hey, IT admin, I am facing this issue. I'm not able to connect to my laptop, or else I'm getting some Wi-Fi issues, all those things, right? Rather than people calling you, okay, if you are doing in a proactive way, you as an IT admin, you are doing the troubleshooting, all those things. So what is the experience that the employees has, right? So here, depending on different what you call devices, different levels of alerts mechanism can done. I'll take a classic example here. You can see if any what you call any configuration change has been done, then by default who should be getting those alerts? And if suppose a VPN connection goes up or down, then who should get an alert, right? You can set an alert also here. If a network, because just imagine for a typical customer, a daily usage of network will be 100 GB, but imagine on a particular day the network they have consumed is 200 GB. So there is a abnormality, right? So that abnormality that should be reported. There can be CNC traffic in that network, which is consuming all those bandwidth, right? So this abnormal, this should be reported immediately. So if this is reported immediately, so that you can timely take actions, either you can down the network or else you can remove some bandwidth uplinks to avoid any untoward incident, and you can contain those all those things, right? So this is about the network. If I talk about wireless, if a client is having poor signal strength, then you can add alert. If a client with having high bandwidth usage, then you can set an alert also here. Okay. And about the security appliance, if one of the primary uplink changes, then you can get an alert here. Different kind of alert. One is about the switch. So you can see the granularity of the alerts mechanism there in the Meraki dashboard. Any port that is going up and down for 60 minutes, that particular incident should get an alert from the in the Meraki dashboard. That can be 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something like, depending on your use case. If any port detects a cable error or any port changes link, let's say suppose if they are switching from fast Ethernet to gigabit or gigabit to 10 Gbp, okay, you can do all those things. And one of the best part is that a power supply, suppose if a switch is having two power supplies or a single power supply, if a power supply is going down, then you should get an alert, okay, particular switch located in so-and-so office, he has got some issue with the power supply. Then you need to go and fix those problems. Imagine you are using a core switch, and if a primary power supply is down and the switch is using the secondary power supply, then you should get an alert. So what will happen when you get through those alerts? Then you can go and replace the primary with any spareable battery with you, right? So this will what you call remove the what you call network downtime from your network. So a lot of things are there, like camera part or system managers part, or as the suppose I was talking about the sensors part here. So I think sensors is also there. So from the sensors point of view, you can set the mechanism, like suppose yeah. So you can create some profiles, like suppose if my temperature is going to increase from like so and so region, I mean so temperature, then I should get an alert from the sensors. You can have all those things. Let's say suppose here, if I'm talking about room environment, okay, if my temperature is, let's say suppose it gives in degrees or Fahrenheit, both the option. If my temperature is getting increase above 35, or else it is getting below some 20, because this is the optimum temperature in which my devices work or in which my what you call industries work or something like that, right? So you can have the temperature. If my humidity is above 64% and it is below 40%, then and also you can get an alert also. If it is water detected or door open or door closed, all those things you can put here, and you can profile these in your sensors. So a lot of things are there because we have these group policies and we do have the switches. We can configure VLANs, we can configure the dynamic protocols here, okay, and we can configure the guest ID, the splash pages, all those things are there. But definitely we'll get back to on those parts, and if any specific use case is there, and if you want to work with that, then you can always approach to the intent team. We'll be happy to help you. So with that, I close my session, Hima. So let us take some questions.
Thank you, Amir. That was a wonderful session. Even I understood better. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's go through the questions. So we have a question from the partner, Mr. Bhaskar. He would like to know what is L7 visibility? Layer 7, I think Rupesh should answer the question. Layer 7 application visibility. Rupesh, you want to explain it to the complete partner base? All the participants? Maybe they all get an idea.
Let me
Yeah,
answer that.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
So Bhaskar, like level, because generally when you are using traditional architecture, you will have a visibility on like what is the interface on which a particular user is connected. You can do this IP scanning, all those things, right? But what if you don't know what they suppose if I'm one of the user of your network, and if you don't have visibility on like what applications, because layers is nothing but the application layer, what applications a particular user is consuming and what how much he's using, whether those applications are allowed in organization policies or not, all those things will be getting the L7 visibility. I hope that is clear to you.
It's basically the application visibility. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Bhaskar, we hope that answers your question. If you still have questions.
One typical use case I'll tell you. Let's say during the IPL season, there are like websites which will do these streaming services, like Hotstar is one classical example in this case. And if you want to check who is what you call viewing this Hotstar, then how can you do this, right? And there might be some multiple like unsanctioned apps which do the streaming services also. But if you want to check, suppose if you think that okay, I am using this more bandwidth, so if you want to check what actually you are using, so that you can download those reports and you can tell to the employee that okay, fine, you are using this application which are not as per the policy set by the company. So that will help you to do this what you call filtering in terms of the clients.
Okay, good. So to deploy Meraki solution, end customer must have Meraki supported components, correct? That's a question. I hope it is.
Bhavesh here, nothing but suppose I will take an example here. Let's say you have got a network which has a firewall, switches, wireless, and any other devices. Okay. So here, if you want to deploy Meraki solution, let's say suppose if they are going for a tech refresh in terms of the switching or wireless capacity, and they are not interested in the firewall part, no issues. So the switches and the wireless part, you can have Meraki solution that for the manageability configuration part, you can have dashboard. The firewall will be traditional. Let's say suppose if you are using the Cisco's Firepower or just some other vendors, then you can do this locally.
Will that be monitored using the Meraki dashboard, the
No,
non-Meraki component?
Only Meraki components will be monitored in the Meraki dashboard.
Dashboard. Okay. Okay.
So that it means that you can have, suppose if you want to have the Meraki switching, you can use that will be compatible with other other technologies that can be wireless or that can be firewall. But the manageability, the controllability, all those things will be for that particular switching will be to the dashboard, not from locally.
Okay. Okay. Great. Got it. Okay. Does Cisco switches supports Meraki solution?
The Catalyst they support. I mean, see,
Catalyst
you want to work with this Meraki, definitely that will work. But again, the same answer here that if you want to deploy Catalyst switches in a Meraki solution, which has got a Meraki access point and Meraki MX devices, that will work. But at the end of the day, the Catalyst, the switches that you need to configure, maintain all those things from the locally.
Okay, good. Any best practice guide for Meraki wireless authentication? That is Radius 802.1 integration.
I will share you this one. You can see what is the best practices. Like there is a documentation.meraki.com website. From there, you can get all the documentations regarding the configuration, all those things you can get from there.
Okay, okay. You may leave that link in the chat pod, Amir. That would be great. Thank you very much. So can you show me or briefly tell me about the demo process? I think that's what we have just covered during the demo session. But if you would still like to know more about the demo session, I think it's better that you would connect with our pre-sales team on a one-on-one call, so we can take you through that. So please be on a lookout for the post-webinar mailer and request for a call from our pre-sales team. They can get in touch with you and take you through the demo session once again as requested. Thank you. So does Meraki MX support object host creation and source NAT?
I need to check this, Emma. I will get back to Charles. Okay. Charles from which?
Charles, yeah. Okay. Charles Epan. Charles, you're from which organization? Please leave your detail. We'll get back to you. Okay. Star One IT from Kerala.
Yeah, sure. Okay. We'll get back to that part, Charles.
Thank you, Charles. We'll get back to you. Let me check the Q&A. I think we've covered this. Thank you, Charles. Okay, let me go to the chat box. Do we have anything in the chat box? I think we have covered all the questions. We don't have any more questions. So Amir also left the URL to log in to go to the documents. Okay, I believe we don't have any more questions. So I think we can wind up the session, Amir. Is there anything else that need to be covered from your side?
No, I think see, actually to deep dive in the complete sessions, I mean to take all those things, it will take some more time. And keeping in mind the time given by the partners, so we really appreciate those time. So if any specific request is there and if the partner is interested to learn more on the Meraki, they can reach out to you or else to Rupesh so that we can align them a separate one-to-one based on the technologies also and based on the demo sessions also.
Okay. Right. And I believe the partners are aware of the incentive program that we have rolled out for Meraki. Let me just, I think, quickly cover that up. So Meraki.
So one question I think I got in the Q&A. So Nikhil has mentioned that do we have Meraki and Aruba battle card? So yeah, definitely. So one of the things I just forgot to mention to the partners here that so any partner, because most of the partners they might have the access to SalesConnect, right? So my request is that better use the SalesConnect because it will have the all the information related to any product. That it can be Meraki, that can be any classic switching or else wireless, all those things. You type any particular topic, then you will get all the things information. That can be a battle card, that can be a sales value proposition, that can be a demo guide, that can be an ordering guide, that can be data sheets, that can be deployment guides. All those things will be mentioned in the SalesConnect. So I request everyone to use the SalesConnect platform. So the link I will put in the chat window also here.
Great. Okay. As I just mentioned about the incentive program from Redington, I hope you all are aware of it. Like, we have slab that starts from 5 lakhs to the highest slab of 75 lakhs. So each slab has its own gifts. I think I'll just quickly share the screen and I'll just take you through the incentive scheme that we have rolled out. I think after this we can wind up. So this is the incentive program, so which we have rolled out to the entire channel market. So if you could see the first slab, it starts from 5 to 10 lakhs, which if you are falling into this slab, you will get an Amazon gift voucher worth 10K, followed by slab 2, which has 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs, wherein you will get an opportunity to win Samsung Note 10. And if you are falling in the slab 3, which is 20 lakhs to 40 lakhs, you will get Amazon gift voucher worth 35K, and followed by, if you're on slab 4, which is 40 to 75 lakhs, you will get Cisco Room USB video kit. And here comes the highest slab, which is 75.8 lakhs and above. So wherein you will get an opportunity to win an iPhone 12. And this is the lap of honor. If you are achieving a closure of 1.25 crores and above, you will get an opportunity to win new Java Perak. So this is the scheme which is currently running, and the validity is till 31st July, and it's applicable for all Meraki and Meraki Stack products. And as you all know, in case of CBN, incentives will be given post loading the order, that you need to keep in mind. So please make use of this Meraki incentive program and make as much as you can. So we will be more than happy to see more partners winning this. Okay, thank you very much. I think now let me stop sharing. I hope you all must have gotten a copy of this. And if you have not, please mail me. I can send you the CDF. So thank you all very much once again for attending this session. So we wanted to make it as short as possible because we have been covering more session on Meraki solution. Now we all have a basic understanding of Meraki, but we just wanted to, do a refreshment of, more like, understanding the solution with a little bit of detail, and product updates is what we basically want to give you. So we believe that we have covered all the questions within the limited time we have. As most of you all request, know more about the solution, please be on the lookout for the post-webinar mailer, request for a pre-sales expert callback. I would connect you to the right team who would take you through the details, the technology and the nuances in detail, and you will be able to understand, in better. So thank you all once again for your time. Thank you, Rupesh and Amir, for taking us through the session. So we hope that we'll be able to connect with you all very soon. And we have one more session on Hyperflex. It's on day after tomorrow. So please, get yourself registered for the Hyperflex session. I'll meet you all in the next webinar. So thank you once again. Please take care of yourself and your dear ones. Goodbye. Take care. So I'll just end the session. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rupesh. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.